Hey, welcome back to the Scorpio channel. My name is Laura. If you're new to the channel, I'm going to do a general message for Scorpio. Know that energy is fluid. Roles can be reversed. Interpret the message as it best resonates with you. Also, want to thank all my new subscribers, all my old subscribers. Love all your comments. Keep them coming. I definitely read them all the time. Just taking a little bit of a break from doing the word of the day. Because I'm really far behind in giving the readings out. So just be patient with me. A lot of you guys know already that my husband's in hospice and as time goes on, it's getting more and more difficult. So please just be patient. I know eventually I'm going to be on here all day long. You guys are going to be so sick of seeing me. So trust me, just be patient. It'll be worth it when you get your reading. All right. So I just want you to know, if you're new to my channel, that I like to go in deep, which means that I like to look at the spiritual blocks, the shadows, and see how they play out as karmic themes within your experiences. So you get a lot of education on this channel. You get a lot of information that will help you to heal the effects of trauma. And when I'm saying trauma, I'm talking about the psychological and emotional trauma that comes from being in toxic relationships. That's the damage when we're with somebody that doesn't treat us right, and then they make us feel a certain way. We don't realize that we then alter the way that we act. We then tend to either overcompensate or undercompensate due to whatever the core belief is. And that is how we tend to get in our own way. That's how we wind up not being able to manifest the experiences that we want to be able to experience. So you may say, well, I'm a good person, but I only attract people that are low vibe. Well, you're a mirror of who and what comes into your life. So it doesn't mean that you're shady. What it could mean is that you're not valuing yourself enough. So it's always to be able to integrate the spiritual lesson, which is seeing a different perception of your situation, not just what this person is going to do. I look at the whys so that you can see how you were triggered and to see how you actually contribute to the undesirable life experience, right? It's the synergy of both energies together. It's the dynamic of the relationship that is why relationships are relationships, right? I mean, if we don't jive with anyone at all, we don't give that person attention. It's usually we tend to perceive that we're going to be in a good relationship and we give our best self. But then, like I said, we wind up altering the way that we deal with the person. And that's because it's not that we don't have feelings for that person, but that person has hurt us. So now we have to compensate. And I kind of feel like that's the energy. Like you're dealing with a person or someone's coming back into your life, if they're not already in your life, that I feel like the dynamic of the relationship was really triggering. And it's almost like you feel like this relationship's on and off. This person goes away for a certain amount of time, they come back. They go away for a certain amount of time, they come back. And I feel like this is their way of trying to emotionally not be connected to you, or it was, but the problem is they left and came back. And through those periods of separation, this person actually thought about you. So the thing is how much time, energy, focus, and money you give something to, which is how much emotionally you become invested in it without realizing. So even though this person might have breadcrumbed you, they breadcrumbed you over a course of a long time. So you actually hold a place in their heart. They didn't realize that they were doing this, by the way. I feel like they were trying to like control the way that, control the situation. If I don't emotionally get, attached to you, then I can strategize and then I can get what I want. And I don't really have to give that much because I feel like this is the way that this person operates. And we're going to see why I just channeled that. I don't know why. I never know why spirit tells me what it tells me. but we're going to see how it ties in, and let's see what the underlying energy is. Again, this is going to tell us why everyone in the story is doing what they're doing. And that's important information when you're looking at shadows, right? It's important information when we're looking at the spiritual blocks. All right. Selfishness. We've been getting that one a lot. So I'm going to pull like another one, but you can write the word selfishness, and actually you don't even need to write it. You can, by the time that I actually get to this reading, though, I'm not going to lie, it's probably not going to be until like late fall because I'm so far behind. Okay. Because I have 3 other channels. Okay. And clients and a lot of other things. Okay. Selfishness and disrespect. So this is the underlying energy. You dealt with somebody um that it says it all right there. In their selfishness, they disrespected you. So I feel like you're dealing with someone that has a lot of trauma. There's someone that we don't automatically become selfish. The irony is, I feel like this person is a highly sensitive person. I feel like they're a very soft person. Yes, they did put on an exterior, like they have like armor on, and they showed a facade that they wanted you to perceive that they are like that they don't have feelings, that they don't care. But the truth of the matter is, this person does care. They're very sensitive. It's just they've learned to only look out for themselves because I feel like they keep getting in bad relationships. And in that, they go enter into every relationship like sabotaging it because we see what we look for. So I feel like this person doesn't have major trust issues, and they were coming from a place of survival, and they just didn't think about you. I think, however, it triggered you. I feel like it definitely triggered you because you're like, you tell me one day that you like me, or you're showing me that you like me one day, and then the next day you show me something else. And like you said, I just feel like this person has a lot of wounds. And when people have a lot of wounds, they tend to not be emotionally intelligent, but then everything that they do is being dictated by their emotions, by their suppressed emotions. Suppressed emotions, when a person has perceptions that relationships don't work out. I feel like this person's always the person that gives a lot. And that's why with you, they're actually not giving a lot because they've given so much in the past and they always wind up with nothing. That's the energy there. So they took out on you what other people have done to them. And I feel like that's a karmic theme within your life. That was definitely a trigger for you. Definitely. And it wouldn't be surprising if it was, again, something that this person's a soulmate, that they're supposed to be in your life. And I say that only because for them to bring up a major core wound, which I feel like, again, that you're like, other people take out their bullshit out on me. And it's to the point like, yeah, someone else screwed you over, so you're gonna not treat me well. Like your last boyfriend, girlfriend spoiled, like you spoiled with gifts, so now you're not gonna buy me anything. Like that kind of shit. Like you're always the person that gets the shit under the stick. I think that's a trauma. I feel like you grew up with somebody, like a parent that was abused. And because they were abused, they again had a lot of trauma, and they took out on you what happened to them. And so now it's like a karmic like theme that you're like, I get into a relationship with someone that's known to like shower the person with gifts, and they don't celebrate my birthday. Like that would be something like that. You feel like, I don't know why I always wind up with the person that doesn't do anything for me, but but I know that they love me. I know that they care about me. So it's again tells me that that's a trauma because it affects you, and that like that I don't know whether or not you can see past this, and I think that this person knows that. I think for a long time they felt like they didn't have to do anything because there was a very strong spiritual connection. Um, and so, yeah, this person knows that you're angry, and you're angry because you were like, you were so disrespectful to me, and this person misjudged you. When they met you, I feel like they didn't understand you. You have a free spirit. You're someone that makes up your own rules. If you were in a relationship, you were someone that was very independent. This person is very old-fashioned, but then also they're old-fashioned when it comes to certain things, but then also wants you to be modernized when it comes to other things. Like, I feel like you fit the program, meaning like you're everything that this person would ever want, but it also, when they found it, it scared the shit out of them because it's like you were a little too confident, you were a little too good looking, you were a little too much, and it triggered this person's insecurity. And because when the person gets insecure, that's when they begin to monitor their actions, meaning they become really aware of them, and then that's when they will overcompensate or undercompensate. And I feel like this person went out of their way to like not give you anything. Like, it was like, and they're normally very generous. So, like I said, I just feel like it was like a disrespect. And not just when I say give, I mean spend time, like give you emotionally. Yeah, like where it's like this person, I think that they perceived you to be someone that, wouldn't know the difference, because I feel like you're humble, you were nice, that you were a little naive. I feel like this person was like, wow, I'm really talking to you, and I bet you I can like not talk to you every day, and like you're not going to say anything to me. You're going to think that I'm the person, like I'm only talking to you when really I'm talking to like 50 other people. I feel like they refused to actually build a connection with you, that everything that you asked for, which was like, listen, this is important to me, they didn't listen. Where again, you feel like you're always with people that don't really hear you, that don't really see you, that don't really care. They again fall in love with your face, or they fall in love with like aspects of you, but they can't give you what you need, mainly because of the trauma that they have from past relationships. And so they overcompensate when it comes to you. And so they don't want to give anything, but then they expect you to like fix them, to be there for them. So this one-sided energy, which is the energy that you felt like is your theme. Like, I'm the person that goes into the relationship, makes the relationship nice. I'm the person that gives, 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 gives. And um I'm gonna wind up with being screwed over. I feel like it's triggering you, where this person is doing that because that's what happens with them. So I feel like there's a lot of like the similar energy. So the irony is that we're a magnet of who and what we are. And so, you know, we don't recognize the energy though, right? So this person has been hurt. They shut themselves down. They act like they don't care. But I feel like, again, you are someone that does care about yourself. You're someone that, you know, might have grown up that way, where you were taught at a young age, hey, I gotta like look out for myself, because everyone takes care of themselves, and maybe not even in a negative way. But I feel like, and not even in a negative way, because again, if it was in a negative way, you would have not noticed that this person was so disrespectful. You noticed that they were disrespectful because they were deliberately trying to do that. To be like, I'm not giving you anything, I don't really care. And I can't stand these stories of people that, again, can't because they were the victim in their past relationship. So what you felt like is, okay, so you want me to fix you, come in and give you, which pisses me off because you're gonna again feel like I should because you're the victim here, but you're like gonna make me into a victim. And so I feel like this is what you saw because it was all about this person, what they've gone through in their life, what they've gone through in their life. Meanwhile, you're like, okay, but I know what you're trying to do to me. It's like you're setting it up like that, and you think that I don't know what you're doing. You don't, and that's what's disrespectful. You think that I don't know, and and they didn't because then they've never really looked at you. How much can a person look at you if they're not giving you actual time where you're getting to know each other, which is all that I feel like you were asking for. And this person was like, no. So it's the trigger for you of why do I have to fight for the simplest things that you know that you should automatically do. And I feel like it really hurts for you. I feel like you're like, this is not the first time. I get people that are so selfish that they don't look at me at all. They're so disrespectful. And they're disrespectful, and then they make it like they have excuses to be that way because they were in bad relationships. And so they don't really know. So then, right then and there, Scorpio is when you really need to tell the person bye because they're entering into a relationship focused that is not going to work. And that's what you know. And then you're like, well, and then you expect me to like save the relationship, be the person that's like, fixes you because of what you've gone through, where that's not a relationship. A relationship is where we pour into each other. There's equal give and take reciprocity. And this person knows damn well that, but didn't think that you knew. And that's what's insulting. Yeah, like where it's like almost like this person feels inadequate because of that bad relationships, and I feel like you do too a little bit, and you almost feel rebellious, like it's like setting this boundary the way that you need to, but what you feel is that this person's being rebellious for no reason, so you feel like this person doesn't bring out the best in you because you're like, okay, like why do I have to like argue or have anxiety about what you're gonna do? On an emotional level, what you keep showing me is that you're not capable, and it's not because of anything. You just want to not go with the flow. You want to appear as if you're like this person that doesn't need love. Again, appear, like needing to appear like you don't care. It's like, because of what, you're sending me a message? So if this is the message that this person is sending, that's when you need to be like, bye. Because it never gets worse. The disrespect kept coming because this person, again, was reckless with your emotions. Again, and because they're reckless with themselves. They're talking to a lot of different people. They're just selfish. It's like using people as if, to fill them. It's almost like an addictive behavior, the way that a person would go out and drink, the way that someone would gamble, binge, or it's an escapism. And that's what this person likes to do. And it's because, again, you can't go through life without having emotional connections. It's technically impossible. If you actually have a baby and you don't hold that baby, you don't give it emotional love, that baby, they're actually known to like have psychological problems later on in life. And so if you are an island to yourself and you never connect with anybody on a deep, intimate level because you don't trust anybody and you're just using people, it becomes almost like it's not fun. It's almost like any addictive behavior, like like a person that's a sexaholic. The first time that they have sex with someone is like, wow, and they can like go out and do that maybe like for a long time, but then eventually you don't have, it's like a person that whacks off all the time, jerks off all the time. They're not going to, you don't, it's not going to have that effect. It's like a person that does cocaine. If they do cocaine or any drug, a little bit, but then after a while, a little bit comes a little bit, but a little bit more, like Guns N' Roses song. Well, it's because it's not satisfying. And OD is mainly because of that. It's that you keep on having to like rebuild it and rebuild it and rebuild it in your system, meaning take more, take more, take more, take more, because you build up such a resilience to it. You become numb, you become detached. There's no thrill in it anymore because you've done it to the point of doing it, and that's the energy that this person had of like, again, didn't want to be in a relationship because I feel like they were almost like a sexaholic that were again like ran around with a bunch of different people, not, and it was like they, if you went and got readings, it would might show up that the person like slept not even slept with anybody because there was no emotional attachment at all. It becomes just like an act, like a thing. Again, the person became desensitized from it because there's no emotional connection. It's just an act then. It's like almost as if you have your favorite delicious cake and then you eat that all day, all night. It doesn't taste the same anymore. All of a sudden you don't like the taste. It's like like that's what happened with this person. I feel like they go on addictive sprees. And it's because they don't feel good about themselves. And that's because I feel like they're terrified to be in a relationship. So they only care about themselves. So it's a survival thing. It's not that they're meaning to be disrespectful, but they are. And they're disrespectful not just to you. Again, because if you're using people to like just get off, to like change your mood, to release that serotonin, it's because you're depressive. It's because you don't feel good. And the reason why you don't feel good is because you're not connected to anybody on an emotional level. You might go to work, you might be successful in work, you might be successful in other areas of your life, but you're certainly not intelligent there, and there's a lack. And where we need to have that emotional connection. We need to have it. It's like it's a known fact. So again, this person is actually like, I think, haunted from whatever traumas that they have. So, and that's for you, again, dealing with this person, you're like, I want closure. I feel like there's a lot of you that's like, I just want closure. I want this person to know that, like, tell me that they're sorry. I wanted them to be able to like, I mean, mainly you knew that you only cared about yourself. You knew that we had a connection. You disrespected the connection. And you disrespected me in that. So I feel like a lot of you were like, I want you to come back. I want you to apologize. I want you to own it. I don't understand what happened. What happened is that this person has addictive behavior. They go off on binges, and any little trigger can set it off. It's a thing like why people, again, they get on the wagon, they don't drink anymore, and then all of a sudden something happens, it triggers them, they go on a binge. That's what happened with this person. They were in your life. I feel like something happened in their life, and that's why, again, they just kind of like disappeared from your life and really didn't deal with you because number one, there were feelings there. Number two, you guys triggered each other all the time because, like I said, this person wasn't giving you. I feel like you were trying to. So they saw that you weren't going to just put up with anything. So I feel like this person just kind of disrespected you and then ghosted you. And like I said, I feel like you're haunted by it, but I also feel like they're haunted by it too. Because guess what? You can be emotionally not intelligent and still fall in love with someone. This person, I just feel like didn't know how to handle it, didn't know how to deal with it. And that's the thing when we have a connection with somebody, it really makes us look at ourselves. And I just feel like it made this person. So I think that that's really what it is. It's like that. That's what happened. That's what triggered you. That's what made it feel. Made you feel. It's how it's made this person feel. There's a lot of mirroring energy, even though we see that this person did what they did. But I feel like that's the thing. They didn't know what they were doing 100% as they were doing it. And that's the thing. When we react from a trigger, we go out of consciousness. And so if a person was traumatized when they were 12 and they learned how to deal with that trauma by drinking, by doing whatever, if they haven't integrated the spiritual lesson and they are now 35, 40, doesn't matter how old, 20, and they go back into a situation that triggers them again, they're going to react the same way that they did the time that original wound was created. And they're going to have the behaviorism and the habits to deal with that wound the same way that they always did. So I kind of feel like that's this person goes out of consciousness, and that's when a person like loses themselves. It's like, what happened? Like 3 months went by. What happened to that person? That person went on a drinking binge. They fell off the wagon. Where are they? I don't know. That's this person. And they might not just drink. They might like drink or do drugs, but then they also are running around with a bunch of different people. It's a form of escapism. And that's when a person has a lot of trauma, and they have a lot of trauma because of, again, no, haven't done any shadow work, came from an environment that wasn't really supportive to them. Again, look at themselves as if there's something wrong with them, never dealt with their situation, has the anxious avoidant tendencies, it always attracts the anxious attachment, somebody that's needy, then they feel suffocated. It's always the same scenario, which is why this person acts rebellious and acts like the victim, because normally it works towards those needy people, because needy people again could be seen as highly sensitive, especially if the highly sensitive person, the empath, hasn't healed, that they're looking for that emotional support. It's again a person that's one-sided, very narcissistic energy, which is what you would perceive that they are, right? Between the disrespect and the selfishness. But I feel like this person isn't really a full-blown narcissist. I feel like, yes, the way that they are acting towards you, it is, but is that really the way that they are? No. It's just that's why it kind of pisses you off. Again, it's the trigger that opens up your wound of, why are you this way with me when I know that you're not really this way? So we look and we see, I'm trying to understand how my thoughts create my reality. So again, this person is, I think doing a little bit of healing work. I think they are seeing how they've like created the scenario that's playing out between you and them. Like, and I think it's because you're not budging. You're like, you misjudged me. And because of that, I am not coming to you. You didn't apologize. You were selfish and disrespectful. So I am not coming to you. I'm waiting for you, and I'm waiting for you to fucking come to me. That's the energy there. Scorpio, like you're like, and this person knows it. And that's why they're like, well, why did I do what I did? Why did I do it? It's because they reacted. And that's what happens with trauma. When we go through traumatic experiences, we form survival mechanisms that are automatic. So if you're not 100% present, which a lot of times if a person has addictions and they're already that avoidant person, well, again, they're always escaping. They're never really 100% grounded. They're escaping something. To really be present in the moment, if something it happens that's traumatic or something makes us feel bad, it consumes you until you fix it. If you are someone that's emotionally intelligent, because it would bother you, your conscious would bother you. You'd say, I need to fix this, it just doesn't feel right. Where this person doesn't do that. Again, they tend to, again, it's a trigger, they avoid, do escape by any means, they get lost in the addiction. And it's, I think that this triggered them. I feel like this person had the connection with you, didn't want the connection because, again, of all past relationships. And so they thought that they were going to be slick and play the victim and act like, that they were so hurt and this is why, and that you were going to come be their savior. And you were like, you're not giving me anything. Thing I don't notice that you're not giving me anything. And they were like, well, I didn't think that you were going to catch on. So it was very disrespectful because it's like you're not caring about me at all. You only care about yourself. And I don't really even know what you feel. And so I feel like this person did have feelings, but trauma makes us almost look as if we're watching somebody else in the relationship, which is why you're like, and I feel like you never really took an initiative to do anything. Like where I feel like this person tends to let other people do most of the work in the relationship. When I let myself go deeper into thought of you, I can feel my heart opening, and I feel like that scares the shit out of them. Like I said, this is healing for this person, this connection, because they're looking at, again, how they created the experience, and also it's moving them into their heart out of that survival reptilian mind, which is really important. Because this person tends to never be in their body again, they tend to be avoidant, they tend to escape. So it doesn't mean that they can't do things, but what it means is it's hard for them to let people in. It's hard for this person to be vulnerable. Um, inner child needs healing. So that's what this is. It's again, the inner child needs to be healed. So that's like, again, it's bringing, like, it's when this person like is connected to you, they feel so deep that it really does trigger them back to like those are very young days that they were able to be vulnerable. And I feel like that they did have moments with their mom or with somebody that was loving in their life. They just also have had people in their life along the way that have not been loving. And I feel like this person, it didn't take much, maybe like one bad relationship, and this person closed down. And that's due to their own sensitivity. Our hearts are connected. So again, they feel the spiritual connection. I just feel like they've never had a connection like this before. So it's a lot for a person that normally doesn't, I don't want to say they don't feel, but they don't let their feelings dictate their life. This person is again more logical, that so more survival. So it's like they can't deny the spiritual connection. And that's why I think that they're haunted too. And that's why you're haunted, because you're like, why did you do that? I deserve an apology. you're gonna stay disrespecting me? And this person was like, normally it's like, yeah, I don't normally have a problem with that. Because I have inner child wounds and I can escape that and pretend that that didn't happen. But the problem is with you, I can't because our hearts are connected. And when I let myself, I can feel my heart opening, and that terrifies the shit out of me because that gives you a lot of power over me that I don't know whether I want to do, because you're going to see this other side of me that you're not going to like, that they feel like there's a really dark part of them, and there is. We see that they escape into their addictions, they escape into like, you know, addictive behavior that's reckless, that could affect you. So of course, that's something that would be terrifying for you and this person. The same divine energy flows in both of us. This energy is the catalyst of our reunion. We just need to allow this energy to work its magic. I feel like this person, like, and you, because again, there's this strong connection of, I want to know what you did, and I know it bothers you. I know that you're embarrassed, so it's like I'm waiting for you to say something, and I honestly feel like you're like, I'm waiting, like where this person is like mortified because again they misjudged you, and there's a sense of you saw all that. Where if you don't, they feel intuitively, and so um but both of you still have this unconditional love for one another. And that's the problem. It's like, unless this person like comes to you and comes clean, and I feel like they've never been that vulnerable with anyone to tell them about their past traumas and the things that they deal with and their battles. Again, this person tends to have, again, the persona like they wear armor, like they don't have feelings or emotions, but they are very soft, or actually the opposite. And that is like, again, what makes this person like, well, you can crush me. Like, I feel like you'd be able to crush me. I need to be strong in who I am before I can merge my energy with yours in the 3D. I'm afraid I can lose myself in this relationship, which is what I said before. And that's where they'll be like, you can crush me. You'd have full control. It's like you have that power over me, and that triggers me. So I tried not to let you get close to me, but I overdid it. I overdid it. It's like where I had to just think about myself, is what I feel like. One more. I'm afraid you're going to meet someone else before I'm ready to be with you for good. So this person, like you said, I feel like there is part of them that really wants to be in this connection. It's just they know that they have problems, and I feel like they're trying to work on those problems, and they're trying to see why they do what they do. Um, I'm just curious. I wish you were here with me. I wish I could turn back the clock and do things differently. I'm filled with regret. I can feel like I can be myself around you because you're my divine counterpart. That's what this person feels. And it's like, why do they feel this way all of a sudden? And it's like, I need to ask. And I think it's because it's, again, it's a soul's relationship. And this person runs from themselves, and they, try to run from this connection. They try to control it, and what they see is, I can't. And I feel like that's what divine relationships do. That's number one. That's intuitively just like, it's a no-brainer. But let's pull three to see. This person felt sick without you. They felt sick without you. They felt, again, like like something was missing from them, like a piece of them was like cut off. It's like their body told them, like again, intuitively, they were told, okay? So we see that again, the poor health, again, didn't feel well. And we saw again, it was annoying. And we saw again that their body signal again, and that it was like they weren't feeling good. I feel like the moment that you were out of their life. And I feel like it's because when I said, like, if you go out and you like screw like 1,000 people, it's an act. There's no more feeling. It desensitizes you. And so I feel like this person was feeling like dead inside. I know that that sounds so dramatic, but you have to see when a person has a lot of spiritual blocks, you're tired. You feel very lethargic. And the reason why is because you're never really in your brain. Every little thing triggers you. You have a lot of anxiety. Um, you have to get fed emotionally to build your energy. And how do we do that? Through our relationships, doing things that we're passionate about. Hooking up with random people, that might be exciting in the beginning. It's like a counterfeit excitement, but it's very short lived. How long can you do that? Maybe a year, 2 years, 3 years, 5 years. After a while, it's like, it's not exciting because then it's like, oh, well, all these people are the same. And then what you're realizing is that you're connected to people that are not on the highest vibration. So they're also expecting something, you're getting something from them if you're just sleeping with them and they're expecting something from you. So it becomes like that. I believe that you never was with this person because it never got on the right track. You were like, I'm not just going to play your little game where you are this poor victim that needs me to do everything in the relationship. I'm not doing it. I'm not going to be in a one-way relationship. I'm not. It's like, I see what you do with the disrespect where you're giving other people attention and it's like, you want me to play this part, I'm not doing it. And so, especially if I'm a divine counterpart, and I feel like we have this connection, that you should not be disrespecting me. And so, like I said, I feel like because you put your foot down, that also made this person feel sick because it's like they were like, shit, you did know what I was doing. It's like I thought I was getting over, and you were like, "No, you're not getting over," and peace out, motherfucker. And that made this person again. You on top of it walked away from me. So again, this person saw you as weaker. They misjudged you, and then like you did that 360 on them, and now they're like again. They were forced to look at you and really, normally relationships don't affect them. If so, they're like, why is this still bothering me? Especially if we didn't get along, I should be freaking happy. And that's what you say too. I should be fucking happy. All you were was a pain in my ass, but I'm still thinking about you. And that's how you both know that there's a divine counterpart. That's why there's a lot of mirroring just with you. You're just like, ow, like, why did you do that? It's like it really like dug up a wound, and then but understand there's still feelings there. Otherwise, you wouldn't be like, I want you to come back and apologize. I want you to fix this almost. And so again, yeah, this person's lonely and detached. And didn't I say you can only do that? And it's because they're separated from you. And that's what they know. It's again, when you were around, it gave them energy. It made them happy. It's again, because they really have a connection and it wasn't just this sexual thing where like a long time, the sexual thing was all that this person wanted until they became desensitized from it and detached. Now they want to feel that way again, is what I'm feeling, which I know you feel like, give me a break, but it's the truth. It's again, we never know when a person is going to be struck by love. The universe always brings people into our life to help us heal, to evolve back into to the energy of unconditional love. Just a lot of times people aren't ready and they want to control and they think that they know what love is. This person thought that they were going to control love too. I'm just going to ignore you. I'm not going to give you anything. It's like, it's too scary for me. It's too deep. It's too real. It's too serious. It's like, I don't want to lose myself in you. I can, it's like, this brings up a lot of shit for me is the energy. And guess what? Spirit was like, you don't have a choice. And that the person's like, now I feel sick. Now I feel sick. Almost like the divine put this person in timeout where it's like, now you're going to sit and you're really going to think about your life. And it's again, and make you again become grounding, and then what this is like, it is grounding this person, and it's making them more stable. And what they're seeing is again that you're classy and they feel like you would, you two would prosper and do very well together. Okay. So it doesn't mean that they also see that they were stubborn, but it's like almost like I feel like when a soulmate twin flame relationship, it's like, hey, I did what I did. Every wrong turn that this person could have made, I feel like they did make. Let's see what else. So that's why, and again, there's a lot of daydreaming about you. There's a lot of like, again, this person feels a lot of chemistry with you. They just feel like they want to like sleep with you, and not uncommon. Again, what makes us change? Listen, do you think that we're just going to change to look at our wounds and stick around and deal with our triggers and really, no one volunteers to do that. It doesn't feel good. But when there's sexual fulfillment, when there's intimacy and this sexual pleasure, which is the language of this person, because like I feel like here for a good time, not a long time, I had a lot of sexual relationships to the point that they became desensitized from it. And now they were like, well, I really have an emotional connection with you. So the sex is gonna be banging. And I just feel like I can spend the rest of my life with you. It's again, like it's there's this person wants to experience that intimacy with someone that has that emotional connection. I feel like they never had it, they never wanted it before. We never know why people, again, fully why certain things happen when they do, but what we do know is that this is a past life karmic mate, which is what all twin flames are. So it's many, many lifetimes you incarnated with this person. That's why this person can't walk away. That's why, again, their shitty behavior bothers them. That's why you're like, yo, I'm still waiting for that apology. I am waiting that you disrespected me. How fucking dare you disrespect me? It's like you're like really hurt by it. You're like, I don't know who the hell you think you are by not giving me anything, and I'm gonna make you give me double when you get back here. And it's like because I feel this energy too. It's like I just feel like we're so connected on like every level, and it's like, and you're like, and I want to experience that, and I don't know why you did this. And the reason why they did it is because it scared the shit out of them, which is not uncommon for soulmate twin flames, darling. It just is not. It's like because it makes this person be like, fuck, this is real. I don't have control over it. And like in the beginning, they're like, I can control love. I'm just gonna act like I have a steel jacket on and that but they overdid it. And that's why they feel like shit. Again, I believe it haunts them more than it haunts you. You're more haunted by the disrespect. Like, you need to fix that. It's like, that's more like your energy, where their energy is more like, you know, sad, embarrassed, mortified, um, shocked at themselves, like I still have feelings. Like what? I have feelings. I normally don't even have feelings. Normally I don't care And normally other people care. Normally other people make a big stink because I don't care. I can detach. But meanwhile, now I'm caring and you seem like you're detached. So, which again is flipping this person out because they're like, this was not supposed to play out that way. I came in as a victim. You were supposed to give to me because of my situation. And now I'm thinking about you. How did the fuck did this happen? And spirit's like, because this is a past life soul twin flame connection that you don't have it, you can't control this. It's like the divine has a hand in it. And we see, why did you attract this person? Because you're like, okay, well, I don't know why I'm with this person. So innocence, card number 1. Organized chaos, number 2. Hope. Oppression. Dance. So I feel here that you grew up in an environment, these are inner child wounds. So we understand that our shadows a lot of times come from our inner child wounds. And before it said inner child wounds brought up by this person, and you're a mirror of who and what comes into your life. So I feel like, again, you were brought up by someone that was very controlling, and you two grew up in a very imbalanced environment. It didn't mean that there was no food on the table. I feel like everyone went to work and they took care of things, but it was toxic relationship, addiction, some sort of, again, chaos that was created from the habits and the behaviorisms of your parents. And because of that, I feel like, again, that there was very controlling behavior. So that's where the trauma came into play, because it robbed you of your innocence, right? So feeling like you can't have, children are always in their imagination. Children like have imaginary friends, like they're free. And I just feel like this person felt like your innocence in dealing with them and they took it for granted. I feel like people tend to look at your sensitivity, your kind nature, as something that's very innocent. And sometimes in this case, this person definitely misjudged you because of it, because you're soft, you're nice, you're loving, you're kind. It's like you won't notice. You don't notice when people, again, don't treat you right. It's like almost like somebody that um took advantage of your kindness. I feel like that's happened to you before. That was some of the common theme of your, because of your empathy, your sensitivity, and your innocence of not looking at other people through like a wound, through a wound. You looked at them through your own pure heart, which people saw that innocence, but they used it for themselves and they kept you down. So it's almost like, again, where you felt like you were giving all your energy as a kid and you weren't really getting anything back, whether that was from, a parent, or whether that was from a close friend, or whether that was a theme. And so, and dance, I always feel like it's to be able to go with the flow of life. You can't really see it, but it is like she's dancing. And what that to me is, when we find our own rhythm, I feel like, yes, you are someone that has gone through your own trauma. This person felt that. This person feels like they have a lot in common with you because of that. There is a bond. They might not have said anything to you of that, but there's a reason why they feel like they get you, you get them, which is why, again, you're like, why did you do this? I want an apology. But I feel like you learned how to go with the flow of life. You learned how to really not let anybody keep you down. And I feel like you are soft. You're someone that is a highly sensitive person that tends to look at things through a very positive perception. This person took your positivity and your glasses half full perception as something that was weak, and understand organized chaos. Again, we tend to gravitate towards what's familiar. So dealing with a person that has had addiction, okay, if you grew up in that environment, growing up with an emotionally unavailable parent, you grew up in that. So there was some sort of imbalance that you grew up with that made life seem chaotic, but you were able to, again, you learned how to deal with it. And I feel like you learned how to deal with it because, again, you found your own groove, your own rhythm, and that's through putting the energy into yourself. Where this person uh didn't see your your worth, didn't misjudged you, thought that you didn't see your own worth because they value worth by material gain. They usually, the ego does, it needs to like see something. So it basically, oh, you live in that neighborhood, oh, you drive that car, oh, you work at that job, oh, you're friends with that person. So all outside things. And now what they're seeing is, I think that they're like, I actually value the fact that you are different. Like you go with your own flow. You go with your own flow. And and we still have a connection. Even though I created a lot of chaos, even though I can't control this. So what I see is that this person they want a second chance, you know. No shit. No shit. I literally just turned the card over. I was like, let's see, this person wants a second chance. And I knew that. I didn't need to pull that, but I felt like you guys needed to see something. So there it is. I mean, this person wants a second chance. It's like, do you want to give them a second chance? Let's see. Do you want to give them a second chance in this story? We're just gonna, you see all these cards in here. We will pull from this deck. I'm just curious. Now, this is a collective reading, so remember, like, don't be yelling at me. Like, I'm never going back with that asshole. Like, because again, some of you will, some of you won't. Um, it's collective, but in this story, this is the end. You're not going to take this person back. You're not going to take this person back. And the reason why is that I feel like the disrespect and how long they took to actually come back to you with an apology in this story anyway. And sometimes that's just what the karma is. This person did a lot of things. Like I said, they're haunted, but they didn't fix it. And they didn't really need to act the way that they did. I feel like they really hurt you. I feel like they really hurt you because you're like, we had this connection. I really let you in and I just don't trust you. I feel like you haven't given this connection enough time. And and then you're going to want to pick it up where we left off. And we do have this like insane chemistry that I don't want to put myself in that position. So I feel like you're like, I'm not going to put myself in that position. That's for this story, for those of you. So then we ask the universe, you know, that was very direct. Normally I would have to pull like a few cards, but since it was like, this is the end, it's like, I'm not even going to pull another card because it's like, that's a hard no. Literally, that a lot of that for whoever this is in the story, it's like, no. It's like you, because of the connection we had and the disrespect and how long you made me wait. And, you know, this realization, yeah, you finally got it. But it's like, I'm on to a whole different place in life. And so choice. I choose serenity, light and positive energy, no matter what I go through. I choose happiness. I rise above fear and direct my thoughts to God. So it's again, first of all, it's almost like this person thought that they didn't have to give energy because of the spiritual connection. It's not uncommon when someone's like, oh, we have this love of a lifetime, and now I'm gonna like abuse it. And then because I kind of feel like though I want it, I don't want it now. Though I want it, it's like you're gonna ask me to, you know, rise above, and I don't rise above my, my selfish ways, and I'm not 100% ready to do that. So I'm gonna try and slow walk it. Gonna try and I'm gonna think the whole time that you're not gonna know what I'm doing. And that I feel like is really what pissed you off, because you're like, I dealt with it a little while because I thought that it was going to change, or I thought that they didn't know. Like, I think at first you made excuses for them, which again was the disrespect with your innocence, meaning, no, I'm just kind and I don't do that to people, so I don't look for people to do it to me. If I have a genuine connection with someone, I don't go out of my way to try and get over on them, which is what this person did, how you made them feel, and you're like, well, now I don't trust you because you dirtied the connection, and it's my choice. It's not a fated thing that I need to be with you. I don't need to be with you just because you're my soulmate, my twin flame. It's my choice. It's almost like you think that it was okay that you did what you did. Well, I'm going to show you that it's my choice. That's again, and what I choose is serenity, and because I don't trust you, and positive energy, and you didn't bring me positive energy because of your shit, because of what you've gone through in your life. So no matter what I go through, I don't project my shit onto anyone. I choose happiness. I rise above the fear, and I direct my thoughts towards God. And in that, my character is in alignment with that. Your energy was not in alignment with God, which is unconditional love. That's the only energy of what God is. You didn't treat me like the soulmate twin flame that you should be have shown me unconditional love, should have valued the connection. You disrespected, and you waited, and you held back, and you again were just selfish. And I don't think I can see you any other way. So I'm going to again like do that because I feel like that's karmic justice. And that's how it ends in this story. So you let me know if that's how it ends in your story, Scorpio, or whether you're going to decide to stay, because there's many different realities that play out at one time. And when it's a collective reading, you know, it's everybody's going to do something different, or not. There's only a few options, but everyone's going to do something different. As I just said, just they only have three options. All right, guys. I love you, and thank you for all your likes, shares, and subscribes. I look forward to reading your comments. I'll talk to you soon. Bye.